Blake Dahl to gavel us in today. Judge?
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Howard County Board of Commissioners meeting is now in session.
Okay, please stand for the pledge and prayer. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay standing for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this opportunity to gather and work of taxpayers in Howard County. I ask that you watch over our decisions, guidance, and help us. We ask that the state legislature right now is back in to make calls and that are going to affect all of us. Congress, help them best and wisest, us average people of the world. Be with President Trump, administration, trying to do lead us and guide us.
Amen. Well, thank you everyone for being here. We appreciate it. First thing we'll do is special announcements, recognitions.
I have one, sir. It's going to be hard to not let this person know who they are without, I'm just going to read what I have in front of me. They would say, I would like to nominate Rosemary Hampton for Employee of the Month for her outstanding dedication and hard work. Since joining our team, she has consistently gone above and beyond in her role, demonstrating exceptional work ethic and a strong commitment to both our customers and her coworkers. Rosemary has been instrumental in her job training, consistently stepping up to guide and support her new team members. Her ability to explain tasks clearly and patiently has helped many employees get up to speed quickly, contributing to a more efficient and cohesive team. In addition to her training efforts, she is also willing to take additional tasks whenever needed. She has shown great initiative in handling extra responsibilities, all while maintaining a positive and pleasant attitude. Her dedication to customer service is equally impressive, consistently receiving positive feedback from customers for her helpfulness and professionalism. Her hard work and willingness to go the extra mile make her an invaluable asset to our team, and I believe she truly deserves to be recognized as Employee of the Month. There's no signature on this, so I don't know who you can blame this on.
That would be me.
That was you?
Yep.
Okay.
We'll come around there.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay. Great work by our employees, makes everything just run so smoothly. Okay, I have years of service to be read.
Years of service recognition. 1 year, Cassidy Stamball, Renee Simple, Brent Kripe, Angela Henderson, Vicky Poland, Drew Cornell, Cheryl Vinola, Shane Klein, Philip Dowd, Stephanie Miller, Hayden Turner, Miranda Addison, Holly Tucker, Brendan Jones, Joshua Sawyer, and Carter Stevenson. 5 years of service, Misty Biggs, Trenton McDuffie, Maria Martinez Wilson. 10 years of service, Amy Day, Brenda Humer. 15 years, Neil Hoover. 20 years, Brooke Milburn. Ying Dang, Jennifer Scales, Jacob Willie. 25 years of service, Robert Kendall, Debbie McKay, Roberta Baldridge, Christy Hoddip. 30 years of service, Robin Byers, and 35 years of service, Maria Michael.
Thank you. Isn't that amazing, the number of years of service that we have here at Howard County? So special thanks to those employees that have those years of service and the great job that they do. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next is our approval of previous meeting minutes for February 17th.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Get these signed. Next is we move into departmental business and reports. First up is the Honorable Blake Dahl Court Improvement Grant Program. Your Honor.
Documents. I know, Jessica, I've already given you some, and Ellen as well, from the,
So we're last. Is that what you're telling us?
well, I did have the privilege, and I say that because it was my first time going in front of the council last week.
Thank you, Judge.
To ask them for the information.
I've got it, yes, thank you.
Last year, before I took the bench, the day the grant that I found on the deadline is when I found it. So I can't remember the exact date, but it was for a court improvement grant. The grant is through the state of Indiana, the Indiana Supreme Court. And the intent of the grant is to provide money for courts to upgrade access to justice and technology and security. So being the day of the deadline, I ran around the courthouse like a madman asking, hey, what stuff do we need? And because I had such limited time, I wasn't able to get input from everyone. But I did get some feedback on things that we needed. One of the things we needed was a stun cuff. That was the first one that security told me. Right now, we only have one, so if we have 2 jury trials going and we have a violent offender or an alleged violent offender, they can only have one stun cuff to use. So it creates a security risk. That was one item that I asked for in the grant, and that was about $3,500. I asked for 2 wireless microphones. The old ones that we had when we did the tech upgrade no longer work with the system. And so we have a few soft-spoken attorneys, mostly from the prosecutor's office. And so we want to equip them with some microphones so when they move out the court recording system can pick it up in case there's a need to have a record later on that might go to the Court of Appeals or the Supreme Court. We'd ask them for some financing for civil and criminal jury instructions on DVD or some electronic format, instead of just copying them and handing them out to counsel from a book, and then it looks real sloppy, especially on the record. And one of the other things we're looking for is a machine that can take the jury summons and notices, that can fold them, put them in an envelope, label it, and possibly postage it. Now, I've actually talked with the Sheriff's Department. They use a program where they actually send mail out and it gets postaged. So really all we need is a machine that will stuff it and label it. And so those are all the things that I asked for in the grant. And then oddly enough, even though it was the last second I had putting everything together, 11:59, I hit the send button to Joe Fisher down at the Indiana Supreme Court office. And then about a month ago, they said, hey, by the way, we awarded you $8,500 to get the things that you're wanting to get. So last week I went in front of the council and asked them for a line of funding, and they gave me a thumbs up. It's a reimbursement grant. So the county has to pay for it up front, and then we use the form to send to the state, and they send the money back to us. So I'm just here asking the commissioners to also give me a thumbs up to be able to utilize those funds.
Make a motion that we approve Judge Dahl's grant for $8,500.
I'll second it.
Judge, do you need this signed?
I don't. So I didn't go through the package with you. The first page is the award letter. The second page is the terms and conditions. And the last page outlines the entire program. I was providing that for you just so you could see what I was utilizing and the documents that I was getting back for the grant itself. There is a form for reimbursement that I've provided to Jessica. So she has that, and I can send you a digital copy as well.
Okay.
Great. I have a motion on the floor and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is approved, Judge. Thank you for taking the initiative to do that and getting that money for the county.
Yeah, and good news too. So this is usually an ongoing annual grant, at least it is for now. So this year, my intent is to sit down with all the other judges well before that deadline and saying, hey, what things can we do to enhance access to justice, improve security, and improve technology? One of the ideas we already had was putting a self-help kiosk somewhere in the courthouse, maybe 2 of them. So someone who's a pro se litigant, maybe they can't afford representation, they can walk up to a kiosk and go, okay, I'm having issues with fill in the blank, a lease agreement or child support or something. And then they can get directions for help as well as access to free resources. So those are just a few of the things we'd like to put in the courthouse, but those are really expensive items. So if we can get the state to pay for it, that would be fantastic.
Sure.
Thank you.
And thank you all very much.
Thanks, Judge. Next item is Mr. Stone Street from Maintenance.
Good afternoon. Bill, 2 items this afternoon. The first one would be the work release rooftop furnace and air conditioner. This was kind of on our agenda to try and do something with them again, to do something with them this year. So it's kind of in our budget, but it went down. Of course, when it's 20 below, and we discovered it had a cracked heat exchanger, and we already knew it had a bad compressor in it. So to repair it, we're looking around $7,000 to $8,000. I can purchase a brand new one for $13,000, and we can get it installed for around 20, probably much less than that if we just do it ourselves. I've done enough of these. I'm confident we can get it done. I would like to pay for this project, work release rooftop furnace and AC. From Coomcap Building Repair, 1138.47241, for not to exceed $20,000.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second for $13,000 out of Cume Cap, not to exceed $20,000. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that is approved, Bill.
The second one, the softener at the cooling tower went down a long time ago. We were treating it a different way, the water incoming into the cooling tower. It's really best to have a water softener treating that water. Since we're starting all fresh out there with the heat pumps even arriving, I think today or day before or yesterday, I'd like to have a softener for that cooling tower. I can get one through Culligan for $2,387. And I would like to pay for that from Coomcap Building Upgrades, 1138.47243.
I would make that motion as well.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second for replacement of a jail softener for the cooling tower, $2,387 from Cume Cap. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is passed.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Next will be our Planning Commission Director, Mr. Sheeline.
Good afternoon. We have one rezoning case before you this evening. This is out in West Middleton at 2416 South, 465 West. The property owner is requesting his rezoning. It is right now, it is L1, which is a low industrial rezoning, and he wants to rezone it to RR, rural residential, which is a good step down because in RR, he can only put a single family home. The way it's zoned now, he could put a lot of industrial items in there that some of the neighbors probably wouldn't like. So I think this is a good step down. There was no remonstrance at the Plan Commission meeting.
Is there anyone here who wants to speak about this? Okay. Questions or comments?
No, sir.
Do I hear a motion for ordinance number 2025 PCCO-08?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Thanks, Greg.
Okay, moving right along. Alan, did you want to do that for the RP under new business or your business?
Let's do it under my business.
Okay. All right, is there any new business to come before the commissioners? Miss Amber?
I do have one item for the Highway Department. We did get news late on Friday afternoon that we received our Community Crossings matching grant funding, which is
Congratulations,
very
by
exciting. Yep, and so there's a kind of a tight deadline on that, so we'd like to go ahead and request to advertise for that project. So I have all that ready to go, and so I just wanted to request that we advertise for the project, and receive bids.
I make that motion.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Everybody in favor?
Aye.
That is passed. And just so everybody knows, this is for a community crossing, which is 1.4 million
Correct, matching grant.
matching grant. And this has to be done by April 30th.
The contract has to be underway by April
right?
30th,
So
yep.
That's why Amber is trying so hard to get this done.
Yep, we want to make sure we keep that money.
And we appreciate, Amber, you working on this to get this done, by the way. Does everybody need to sign this?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks again, Amber.
Ma'am.
Thanks, Amber.
Any other new business come before the commissioners? All right. Next will be claims and reports, salary claims.
$1,145,638.76.
To approve as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Next will be our payroll expense.
$1,145,638.76.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are approved. Next will be our operating claims.
$1,482,967.96.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Those are approved. Do we have any claims to ratify?
None.
Do we have any monthly reports?
We have Weights and Measures Monthly Report from January 16th through February 15th, 2025.
We will mark that received. Any grants?
None.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Wilson,
First, I have for the board's consideration an agreement with Martino Realty and Auctioneers. This is for the auction of various items equipment the county may have that no longer needs. There's a statutory provision that permits sale of items like this by auction. Pam Isaac was good about negotiating down the cut that the auctioneer gets, so it's very reasonable. If you approve, there's a spot on the last page for signature.
Any questions about this?
Nope.
I have a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second it.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, this contract is approved. I would also ask for a motion to approve for me to allow my signature to be placed on this contract.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Secondly, and lastly, with respect to our new jail, I'd like Brittany Douglas to come up from Envoy. Envoy is our owner's rep. She has a presentation she can give for us.
Thank you,
Welcome,
Alan.
Brittany.
Hello, Commissioners.
Hello.
As Alan mentioned, I'm Brittany Douglas with Envoy. We're serving as owner's rep for the new jail project. Howard County Jail Evaluation Committee received 3 RFPQ responses. Those were from Performance Services, VW, and Garmong. The committee met to review and evaluate these responses on 2/17 prior to holding interviews with all respondents on 2/28. After conducting interviews, the committee discussed how each group presented in the interviews and evaluated the groups based on their responses to the RFPQ and their interview. The committee focused on 5 main categories when scoring respondents: technical skills, project experience, team composition, project approach, pricing, and timeline. Based off these 5 categories, the evaluation committee would like to recommend Garmong to the Howard County Board of Commissioners to be selected as the developer for the new Howard County Jail project. Garmong was knowledgeable in the BOT delivery process that the county is seeking and presented a long list of projects that were developed and constructed by them through this approach. Garmong also presented a full team consisting of architects, engineers, MEP consultants, and more with extensive jail and public safety experience that are highly rated throughout not just Indiana, but the country. Garmong responded as developer, which would be responsible for construction, which would also be responsible for construction manager for this project as well, working on the project and being heavily involved from the start to completion. Their timeline aligns with the goals and needs of the county, and for these reasons mentioned and more, the evaluation committee is pleased to recommend the county commissioners to select Garmong as the developer.
Thank you, Brittany. I think it's appropriate now for the board just to take that matter under advisement until the next council or the next board meeting on March 17th.
Well, I would like to express my appreciation to the entire committee for the work they did on this. Very detailed and helpful to the commissioners. So I would entertain a motion to take this under advisement until our next meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That is taken under advisement to our next meeting. Thank you, Brittany, for coming in and presenting that.
That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you, Alan. Mr. Lipinski.
And I was gonna ask our attorney to give an update on the Stevens property.
Stevens property is, we are right to have that cleaned up. We have a court order in place that would allow us to get it cleaned up. The only question is, where do we have the funds to use to clean that up? Because we've gotten some estimates and it's very expensive to do a cleanup there. So I think it falls on the county council to determine where we're going to appropriate money for cleanup of that property.
Okay, thank you. That's all I got.
It won't do us any good to go back to court. We've already gotten everything we need from the court. We have permission to do the cleanup. Just a matter of paying for it.
Mr. Bray.
No, sir.
Okay. Well, we thank everyone for coming tonight. I would entertain a motion to
You
adjourn.
got public comment?
Oh, yes. Why do I always forget that?
Oh.
Must be, Freudian slip. Public comments. Anyone wish to address the council? Hearing none, seeing none. We stand adjourned.